What if everything you think you know is a lie? What if the life you're living, the choices you believe are yours, the struggles you endure, and the victories you celebrate, they are all shadows of a story your mind has been telling itself? Right now, you might feel the weight of routines, the pressure of expectations, the quiet ache of wondering if this is all there is. You aren't alone in that feeling. Every day, millions move through life carrying invisible chains, believing in realities that may exist only in their imagination. But there's a deeper truth, a hidden current beneath the surface of every thought, every memory, every sensation. And if you stay with this, if you truly let yourself see, you might glimpse a freedom that most never dare to imagine. Imagine the walls you've built in your mind, constructed from rules, fears, and habits you've accepted as facts. They seem solid, unyielding, but look closer and you'll see they tremble, fragile as mist. Every label you've claimed for yourself, every identity you cling to, every version of you that you show the world, is really you, or a mask shaped by years of conditioning? Ask yourself if the things you chase are truly yours, or if they are illusions you were taught to desire. The jobs, the money, the relationships, the approval, how much of it is driven by a whisper that says, this is the life you're supposed to want? And when you realize that the foundation of your world might be built on illusion, the ground beneath you shivers. It's terrifying, and yet it's thrilling. There's a subtle magic in seeing the truth of it. The moment you question, the moment you doubt, you awaken. The world you thought you understood dissolves, revealing the patterns and rhythms underneath. The everyday noise, the obligations, the distractions, the constant hum of busyness suddenly feels optional. You begin to notice things you've ignored, the small beauty in a fleeting glance, the rhythm of your own breath, the silence behind your thoughts. It's like waking from a dream you didn't even realize you were in, stepping into a reality that has always been there, quietly, patiently, waiting for you to notice. You start to see that fear, the one that has always held you back, isn't a wall, it's a doorway. The limitations you've accepted aren't permanent, they are narratives, stories told to you by circumstance, by culture, by habit. And every story can be rewritten, every assumption can be questioned. There's an electric possibility in that, a pulse that quickens as you consider the freedom you've been avoiding. It's not easy, it's not comfortable. But the clarity, the power of seeing the world unfiltered is intoxicating. You begin to understand that life is not a series of fixed events, but a flow, a dance, a play that you are both part of and watching. Every moment holds a hidden depth. Every choice, no matter how small, has the potential to ripple across the surface of your existence in ways you cannot yet imagine. When you strip away the illusions, you are left with the raw, vivid immediacy of now. And in that now you discover a strange paradox. The less you grasp, the more alive you feel. The less you cling to certainty, the more expansive life becomes. It is here, in this space between what you believed and what you see, that everything changes. Here, fear turns into curiosity, doubt turns into possibility. The rigid rules you followed without question dissolve, revealing an open path forward. You begin to recognize that you are not a passive observer trapped in a predetermined story. You are a participant, a creator, a consciousness that shapes the world simply by being aware of it. And the beauty of it is that this awakening, this realization, does not require anything external. It requires only attention, only courage, only the willingness to question everything you've been told and to look directly at the illusions without flinching. And as you sit with this, as your mind stretches to grasp a truth that has always been just beyond reach, something shifts. A subtle lightness seeps in, a quiet liberation, as if the walls of your old world are dissolving, leaving space for something vast and undeniable. It is both terrifying and exhilarating. It is the first taste of clarity. And if you continue to explore, if you continue to look beyond the familiar, you will find that life is not what you thought. It is richer, deeper, wilder, freer. The illusions fall away, and what remains is not emptiness, but a world alive with possibility, waiting for you to step fully into it. The moment you see through the veil, you realize how tightly you have been grasping at illusions. Every habit, every thought, every belief that once felt solid now trembles in your hands. You've been living inside a story written for you, not by you, and the shock is sharp. It cuts because it is real. You feel the urge to resist, to retreat to what is comfortable, but the pull of truth is stronger. You cannot unsee this clarity. The chains that seemed invisible begin to clatter and fall, and with them comes a surge of energy you've never felt before. It's the energy of knowing that you have a choice. Finally, unmistakably, utterly. Your life, as you have been living it, has been orchestrated by unseen forces. Expectations, comparisons, the silent pressures of society. You wake up each day, following scripts, obeying rules that were never yours, and yet here you are standing at the edge of something immense. The comfort of certainty is tempting, but the freedom beyond it is intoxicating. Every moment you linger in the illusions, you waste a chance to experience the raw, unfiltered vitality of existence. Can you feel it? That urgent pulse inside you that is whispering no, demanding that you act? It is the sound of your life calling, insisting that you claim it, that you break the patterns that have bound you. You begin to notice the ways in which you have limited yourself. The self-doubt that seemed like a shadow is really a cage. The fears you have treated as truth are merely stories you keep telling yourself to avoid discomfort. And now, standing in the open, you see the absurdity of it, but also the opportunity. Every limitation you once accepted can be dismantled. Every fear can be faced and stepped through. The world has not changed, you have, and when perception shifts, the entire game shifts. Choices that seemed impossible suddenly feel reachable. Possibilities multiply. You are no longer bound by the illusions of yesterday. You are awake, and awakening is action. The stakes are higher than ever because time does not pause for those who hesitate. Every day spent clinging to old beliefs is a day lost to the illusion. You have a finite window to seize what is real, to live not by what others have told you, but by what you recognize in your deepest knowing. The tension is electric, the pressure to stay small, the invitation to rise. Can you feel it building in your chest? That heat, that urgency, that relentless demand that you move beyond comfort and familiarity? It is the universe nudging, compelling, even forcing your hand. You have no choice but to answer, and the reward is unimaginable. To step fully into this clarity is to step into a life unshackled, to see yourself not as a pawn, but as a force, not as a bystander, but as a creator. Every moment becomes charged with meaning. Every interaction, every breath, every heartbeat resonates with significance. You realize that the illusions were never your enemies. They were guides, pointing to the moment when you would awaken, when you would recognize the freedom waiting for you all along. The transformation is not subtle. It is violent, electric, unstoppable. Old fears scream as you break through, but you do not retreat. You embrace the intensity because it signals that you are moving toward something far greater than comfort. Your mind, once a cage, now becomes a launch pad. Every doubt is a spark that ignites insight. Every hesitation is fuel for momentum. You are learning to move with the rhythm of reality, not against it. And in that alignment, the impossible bends. Doors open that you never knew existed. Paths appear that you never dared imagine. Life itself responds to the clarity of your awareness. Now you see that the illusions were never permanent. They were temporary, protective, instructive, and now they dissolve like mist under the sun. What remains is not emptiness. It is power. It is freedom. It is a life that is alive in every sense, raw and vivid and breathtakingly real. You cannot go back to the old way of seeing. You cannot unlearn what you have glimpsed. And the question that once terrified you now excites you. What will you do with this awakening? How will you live when the world is no longer a set of rules but a canvas? You have the chance to step into that life, fully awake, fully present, fully unstoppable. And the first step, the only step that matters, begins now. Now that you have glimpsed what lies beyond, you feel the weight of responsibility pressing against your chest. The life you have known, the routines, the comforts, they suddenly feel like chains. You realize that every moment wasted in distraction, every thought spent in doubt, is a moment surrendered to the illusion. There's no time for hesitation. The urgency is real. The world will not wait, and neither can you. You are called to act, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. In the raw immediacy of this moment, every breath, every heartbeat is a signal. This is your chance to break free, to step into a reality alive with possibility. The illusions you once trusted now appear fragile, like smoke curling into the sky, waiting for your attention to either disperse them or let them cling. Every belief that once defined you is optional. Every fear that once paralyzed you is a lie your mind whispered to keep you safe from growth. And yet safety is a cage and freedom is raw. It demands courage, it demands clarity, it demands relentless awareness. You feel it coursing through your veins, the pulse of life unbound, vibrating in rhythm with the universe itself. This is not a gentle awakening, it is a storm. It tears through old patterns, it shatters comfortable illusions, and it leaves you standing in the open, exposed and alive. Look at the world around you with new eyes. The ordinary is extraordinary. The mundane is profound. Every moment, every interaction, every sensation carries layers you have never noticed. Life is not a set of rules to follow. It is a dance, a flow, a rhythm you can choose to move with or against. And when you move with it, fully conscious, fully aware, the impossible bends. The rigid structures you once obeyed melt under the heat of awareness. Opportunities appear in spaces that once seemed closed. Paths you never imagined suddenly become clear. The universe does not resist those who see clearly, it responds. Every step you take in awareness amplifies the reality around you, transforming fear into momentum, doubt into clarity, hesitation into action. The stakes are higher than ever because your life, this life, will not wait. Every second you cling to the old ways is a second you forfeit your potential. You are capable of immense power, of insight beyond what you have known, of creation that can alter the course of your existence. But it requires intensity, it requires commitment, it requires presence. You cannot drift, you cannot settle, you cannot allow comfort to fool you into stagnation. The illusions will tempt you back, whispering lies of safety and control. Do not listen. Every whisper is a trap, every retreat a surrender. Move forward relentlessly with eyes wide and heart open, embracing the raw, untamed force of living awake. And when you finally stand fully in this awareness, something extraordinary happens. The walls of limitation dissolve. The fears that once seemed insurmountable become tools, lessons, fuel for further expansion. The world, once a static, predictable place, becomes fluid, responsive, vibrant, alive. You are not a spectator, you are a participant, a creator, a consciousness shaping reality, simply by seeing it clearly. The clarity you now hold is a beacon, guiding every choice, every movement, every thought toward authenticity. You understand that nothing external can define you, nothing imposed can contain you. Your life is yours to shape, in real time, with intention, with courage, with presence. The transformation is relentless. It does not allow pause. Old identities, old fears, old illusions fight back, but you are stronger. You have tasted freedom, and nothing else will satisfy. The world is vast, mysterious, unpredictable, and it waits for you to claim it. Every moment is a test. Will you retreat into comfort, or will you step into the power of seeing clearly? Will you allow life to unfold in fragments, or will you rise to witness it whole in its entirety? The choice is yours, and the time is now. The illusion cannot hold you any longer. You are awake. You are alive. And the life waiting for you beyond the veil is more real, more vivid, more powerful than anything you have ever imagined. Step fully into it, claim it, live it. You feel it now, the raw intensity of life stripped of illusions. Every heartbeat is louder, every breath sharper, every thought electric with possibility. The world you thought you knew is no longer a cage, it is a canvas. Every fear that once held you captive has lost its power. Every limitation that once seemed permanent dissolves in the light of awareness. You are no longer bound by the story that was written for you. You are the author. You are the force. You are the movement. And the universe is waiting, trembling with expectation, for you to step fully into your power. Every second wasted in hesitation is a theft from the life that wants to flow through you. The old patterns, the routines, the invisible scripts, they whisper, urging you to retreat, to settle. Ignore them. They are ghosts of a life half-lived. You are alive, you are conscious. You have glimpsed the raw, untamed truth of existence, and there is no turning back. Every moment now carries weight, significance, urgency. The pulse of life is in your hands. The clarity you have gained is a weapon. The freedom you have felt is a call. You feel it surging through your veins. The demand to act, to claim, to move beyond fear. It is relentless, unforgiving, irresistible. See the illusions for what they are, not barriers, but invitations. Every story you've believed, every identity you've clung to, every rule you've obeyed, they exist to show you where you have yet to awaken. And awakening is not gentle, it is fierce. It tears apart what is false to reveal what is true. The comfort you once sought is a lie. The safety you once trusted is an illusion. And the world that waits beyond is more vivid, more powerful, more alive than your mind can yet comprehend. Every choice you make now resonates. Every step forward is a declaration. Every thought, every action, every breath becomes charged with meaning. You cannot afford to drift. You cannot afford to hesitate. The world itself is moving, flowing, evolving, and you must flow with it, or be left behind. The stakes are infinite because this is your life. Not a rehearsal, not a fragment, not a half-lived dream. Everything you have been told about limits, about fear, about what is possible, is a story you no longer need to believe. You have the power to rewrite it. You have the strength to step fully into the unknown, to move beyond the walls that once confined you, to embrace the vast, uncharted landscape of consciousness itself. And with every step, every act of awareness, the world responds. Opportunities appear, barriers fall, the impossible bends. You are no longer a passenger. You are the force shaping the journey itself. Feel the liberation of this realization. Feel the pulse of possibility in your chest, the electric fire in your veins, the exhilarating vertigo of standing on the edge of a life fully awake. The old fears will scream, but they are weak against the truth you now hold. The old patterns will resist, but resistance only sharpens your clarity. You are awake, fully awake, and every instinct, every impulse, every cell in your body aligns with the rhythm of life itself. Nothing external can bind you. Nothing imposed can define you. You are the observer and the creator. You are the witness and the force. You are alive in the way the world has always wanted you to be. If only you had the courage to see. And now, standing here, at the pinnacle of awareness, you sense the magnitude of what is possible. You feel the weight of choice, the urgency of action, the undeniable pull of living fully. Every illusion you release, every fear you confront, every false boundary you dissolve propels you into a life that is raw, electric, boundless, infinite. The universe is not a distant observer. It is a partner, a co-creator, a mirror reflecting the intensity of your awakening. You have tasted freedom. You have glimpsed the infinite. You have seen what lies beyond the veil. And now there is no going back. There is only forward, only expansion, only the unstoppable momentum of a life fully, fiercely, gloriously alive. Step, move, claim, live. You feel the surge of life coursing through you, undeniable, uncontainable, demanding movement. Every instinct tells you to rise, to stretch beyond what you thought possible, to step into the space you've always feared yet secretly craved. The walls you once called reality crumble under the weight of awareness. Every limitation you accepted as truth is revealed as fragile, a shadow waiting to be dispelled. You are no longer bound by them. You are awake. You are alive. You are the force that bends the world around you. The power you feel is not fleeting. It is the essence of your being, raw and electric, calling you to act with relentless intensity. The old patterns, the quiet voices that told you to stay small, to follow, to obey, they rise up one last time. Listen to them, but do not follow. They tremble because they know you have glimpsed the truth. They fear your awakening because they are built on stagnation, on conformity, on surrender. You, on the other hand, are built for expansion. Every fear you face is a key unlocking doors you never imagined. Every doubt you confront is fuel for momentum. Every hesitation you dissolve is a step into the vast, uncharted territory of existence that belongs to you and you alone. The universe watches, waits, and responds to the intensity of your awareness. There is no time for comfort. There is no time for delay. Every moment you resist, you rob yourself of what is possible now, here, in the raw immediacy of life. The stakes could not be higher. Life does not pause for reflection. Every second spent in doubt, in illusion, in old stories, is a second lost forever. You feel it in your chest, the pressure, the urgency, the sharp pull of destiny demanding your attention. You are capable of far more than you have allowed yourself to believe. The walls of limitation, the fears, the insecurities, they were never permanent. They were lessons, signs, pointing to the moment when you would finally rise. And now that moment is here. You can sense it in the weight of your own awareness, in the trembling clarity that fills every corner of your being. The life that waits is bigger, bolder, more alive than the one you have been living. It demands courage. It demands total presence. It demands that you do not shrink back. Every choice, every action, every thought now carries infinite weight. The universe responds to those who act with clarity and intensity. Hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford. Retreat is a lie disguised as safety. The old self, the version constrained by doubt, fear, and habit, is gone. You stand at the edge of possibility, exposed and unstoppable. Every illusion stripped away, every limitation dissolved, every false belief abandoned, leaves you raw, potent, electric with potential. You are no longer a passive observer of your life. You are the creator, the mover, the force that shapes reality, simply by being fully awake. The momentum you feel is irreversible. It cannot be paused, it cannot be ignored. And now, fully present in this truth, you realize the world itself is a reflection of your awakening. Every interaction, every experience, every moment is intensified, magnified by your awareness. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The mundane is transformed into wonder. The boundaries that once seemed so rigid bend, ripple, dissolve. You see the infinite possibilities that were always there, just beyond the veil of fear and illusion. And in seeing them, you claim them. You step into them. You own them. There is no hesitation. There is no turning back. The life that once felt distant, unattainable, or impossible is yours for the taking. The world itself bends to the force of your awakened presence. Step forward, act, live fully, fiercely, relentlessly. Now is the only moment that matters.